Hello and welcome to Radiate Happiness. This is Anjana. Today's episode is a gentle, soulful conversation not about predicting the future, but about understanding ourselves with more compassion. We're here to explore astrology, numerology, and how it can support our happiness by helping us make sense of our emotions, our timings, and our rhythms. So today I'm joined on Radiate Happiness by someone very special to me, my friend, my guide, and fellow seeker, Nishank Mehta. Nishank is a passionate numerologist, astrologer, and holistic coach with many years of practice. After spending a couple of years in the diamond business, holding a big role in his family's import-export firm, he felt a quiet inner calling, a nudge towards something deeper, more meaningful, and more aligned with service and consciousness. What I personally admire and love about Nishank is not just his understanding of numerology and astrology, but the way he brings clarity, compassion, and a grounded wisdom into everything he shares. I have studied A Course of Miracles with him, which is just absolutely wonderful, and we will talk about it in another episode. So, everybody take a deep breath, settle in, and let this conversation meet you exactly where you are. So, Nishank, welcome, and I'm so happy to have you here. I have so many questions to ask you, but I would love to start with asking you what actually drew you to astrology and numerology, and how did it help you personally before you actually dived into it completely?
Thanks for asking that question. And before I answer that, Anjana, thank you for having me over, doing this with you. And thanks for summing up, I think, 2 decades or more of my life in a few seconds. It was done so beautifully. I have always struggled to do that in such a short while, and wow, you did it. You did a great job with that. Thanks for
Thank you.
that. All right. So I have a very weird story of my entry and introduction to both these esoteric sciences. So to begin with, and here's to all the listeners who are very skeptical about these two sciences. So was I. My definition of astrology and numerology was only two words: hokey pokey. I always felt this was all voodoo stuff and all crap. And how can you add one letter or remove one letter, and how can your life change? So I never believed in this. I was a non-believer who stepped in to learn it or attempt to learn it. It happened because of one person who uh, who was an energy healer and a very intuitive person. And in one of the sessions, she told me that I have a very, very strong feeling that you should do something around numbers. And I love numbers. I was always good at maths. I used to love numbers. But I was just wondering, please, not all these hokey pokey things. But anyway, one thing led to another. And somehow an inner voice told me, trust this. And I told her, okay, you know what? I'm going to just come for one day, learn the foundation, and that's about it. I'm never seeing the face of all these things again. And well, that was a day that will be written in history. Whenever I write an autobiography of myself, that day will always be written, because that day was a day full of aha moments. First, you find the right teacher, and then you learn it the right way. And I sat at 9 a.m. that day, woke up at 5 p.m. completely refreshed. And in one day, I had the entire blueprint of why certain things were not working in my life, and why certain things were working very well in my life. And when this two things were compartmentalized, it gave me a very clear pathway that I need to focus on what is working very well, and whatever is challenging, I need to release those resistances or trying to fight it, trying to work it around, and allow that to just heal by itself. So that was my takeaway in just 8 or 9 hours of learning only the foundation
Wow.
course.
Wow.
So yeah,
Tell
that's
me,
my
why is it you feel that most people turn to these tools only during these uncertain times? Or that why is it that all of us, in your opinion, why is it everybody seeks guidance only when things are difficult and heavy and confusing? I mean, I have learned with you in studying ACIM how to a lot, right? And this question, I from my heart, is very different. But why is it that most people only seek? I mean, even in India, people only go to the temple to pray when there's something wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? So, in your opinion, I'd love to hear from you what you feel, because even people go to a tarot reader, an astrologer, numerologist when things are bad. I'm trying to get the concept that, listen, it's not to go to only when it's bad, it's a day to day. So that's what I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, like you rightly said, what challenges do in our life, like everyone has challenges. If your life were to not have challenges, probably you would not have been born.
Yeah.
Okay, we are born to live through certain karmas, and we have to work through certain things. So these challenges have a way to nudge you, or you know, prompt you to introspect and ask the question, rather than asking the question, why me, ask the question, what needs to be done. So, in a way, when I reframe challenges, while they sound to be obstruction or a bad thing or a bad experience, I like to reframe it to an opportunity to pause, an opportunity to reflect, an opportunity to go within. And a lot of the times, even when I teach my students, I tell them that remember always one thing. Uh, Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, but these sciences, these esoteric sciences, are the last resort that people take. Okay, I'm including all of them. The alternative healing methods also. Like you are a pranic healer, so the pranic healing, Reiki healing, access bars, astrology, numerology, biography, all these are beautiful sciences, but unfortunately, they are not well recognized. They are not well practiced in the right spirit by some people,
Yeah.
and that is why they create a skepticism, like I spoke about my own self,
Yeah.
and it becomes their last resort. But anyway, these challenges actually help you to seek guidance that, okay, I think I have derailed and let me recalculate. I'll give you one analogy. When you switch on Google Maps to get somewhere, and although there is a direction, sometimes we end up taking a wrong turn or a wrong road. And what does Google do? It just recalibrates, it just
Yeah.
reroutes you. So
Yeah.
that's how we get to people get to these sciences.
It's actually really interesting you're saying that, because when I think about my own path, I always say, when people say, why did you start? Is it because the children left? Was it empty home syndrome? But it wasn't any of that actually. It was literally, obviously, like for you, there was another seeking that was happening. So sometimes it's just seeking also that makes curiosity. For me, it was curiosity, which is why I learned everything, and I'm still trying to learn more and more. Yeah, you're right. It's absolutely. So tell me, now that you've explained this, from a happiness perspective, how do these tools help people? I'm not saying this tool is to fix people, we need it only to fix people. How do you soften towards helping yourselves using any of these tools?
Great question, and you've used a lovely word, fix people.
Yeah.
So I will first. There is one question I have to ask you, but before that, I want to clear the air that these modalities, including coaching, including tarot, any of these modalities, none of them are a quick fix,
Yeah.
and they are not supposed to fix your life.
Yeah.
Okay, they are not meant to fix your life. Coaches that you go to, healers that you go to, counselors, therapists that you go to, none of them are responsible to fix you, because from a metaphysical perspective, I believe that everyone is whole. All right, we perceive ourselves as broken or unfixed, which is why the need to fix comes in. So none of these things are to fix people. All
No,
right, so we clear
no,
the air around that. Uh,
absolutely.
what is it about? Is about awareness. I'll come to that. But before that, you use the word happiness. Your book is also Radiate Happiness, right? Radiate is such a powerful word. Let me ask you one question before we move forward. Happiness. What is happiness? What is your definition of happiness? Everyone would have a different perception to happiness. So, what's yours, Anjana?
I think for me, happiness is actually a state of being. I've done a lot of workshops, I've done a lot of things on happiness, and I feel happiness exists in all of us. Okay, there's joy actually. Joy exists in all of us, and it's a state you. I think happiness is basically when, for me personally, is when I'm living a balanced life. I've got balance in all aspects of my life and I'm feeling it from within. I don't know if that makes sense, but for me, it's like I just did a talk on happiness as a habit. And I said, why can't you make happiness a habit, just like you brush your teeth? So for me, happiness is a part of every day. We all go through ups and downs, but it's how we react and not, how we respond to the ups and downs in life. So for me, it's literally a state of being, if you ask me.
Wow, beautiful. I captured two words: being and balanced.
Okay, thank you.
Very, very powerful words. For you, happiness is a state of being. It's a state, and your definition of happiness seems to be balance. When there is balance in every area of life, that's such a beautiful word. Uh, like you, for me, happiness is acceptance. Acceptance of what? Acceptance of everything, everybody, the way it is in that moment.
Yeah.
All right. And even while I say this, there is a part of me that is coming up and saying, easier said than done. All right. Yes, but it's a journey. At least it's good to have a definition.
Yeah.
And so happiness is acceptance. And where does acceptance come from? Acceptance comes with awareness. And here is where, I will bring in numerology, astrology, or astronumerology. These modalities are showing you a blueprint of your soul's journey or a blueprint of your life. And this blueprint is based on your current life, but it is founded on your previous life karmas. There are certain karmas you've collected, certain blessings you've collected, a lot of things we've collected, and then in a particular life, we have to live that. So it is creating awareness. My job as an astrologer, as a numerology, is to create awareness about your life for you. That this is how things are. There is no fix over here. There is no remedy over here. It is just simply creating awareness. And when you are aware that, this is where the resistance is. See, this is where I'm flowing so beautifully. When you are aware, you accept. Let me accept myself. Okay, these are my blind spots. This is what I'm even criticized for. Maybe, probably, judged for, maybe, probably. But now I know where it's coming from. So let me accept myself. So awareness leads to acceptance. Acceptance is the foundation of happiness, is the foundation of joy, because acceptance ceases expectations also. If you can accept yourself, you're going to accept the other person also. A lot of my students who learn numerology, their greatest breakthrough is understanding people around them, and their relationships transform because they come in a state of acceptance. This is where this person is coming from. This is why this person is being like this or behaving like this. So judgment shifts to acceptance. And when you accept, automatically you are in a state of surrender, because there is no resistance, there is no fight, there is no push or pull that is happening. And when you surrender, that opens a big doorway to miracles. And we'll speak about that in another podcast around Course in Miracles. But
Absolutely.
this is how things lead to.
So it's interesting, two things I thought of while you were saying this. One, Is now what happens if somebody doesn't believe in the concept of karma? You said a lot of that, what we do, correct? So let's first, what do you think? That we can do a quick one because you cannot change somebody's point of view. There are people who believe in karma and there are people who don't. And there is nothing you or I or anyone can do to change that. So,
karma is a scary word. I get it.
by the way, in my book, do you know what I've called it in my book? It's called karma slash brownie points because you can
Yeah,
get brains. Yeah, they're called
yeah, yeah,
brownie.
yeah. Oh,
It's a chapter.
that's a wonderful way to reframe a supposedly very scary word. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because karma is associated to punishment,
yeah,
always. But
always.
there are many karmas that you have done
Yeah,
which brings you a lot of happiness in your life as well. Why don't we look at it that way?
yeah,
We are hardwired to think from guilt, to think from punishment. Guilt leads to punishment. So we are hardwired to only think in that way, which scares anyone when we use the word karma.
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
I have the photograph of Paramans Yogananda in front of me, and it's like he's trying to tell me to give this message, so I'll give. And he says that karma is not the end. There is a way to get out of the cycle, and that way is grace. So while karma asks for punishment,
Yeah,
grace asks for forgiveness. So we don't see that angle ever. And what, since we are talking of astrology and numerology, what they are showing you is that based on some past karma, we don't even know what they are, and I'm not even qualified to speak what they could be. They could be
yeah,
anything. I know about them now. And in numerology, there are certain numbers called karmic debt numbers, and there are certain numbers called master numbers. And karmic debt numbers, as the name suggests, it's some past life or multiple past life karmas which have been collected, and you have to live those karmas in this lifetime, which is giving you, you're born on that particular day where this number comes, and you have to live it through. And
yeah,
how do you live it through? Gracefully. Where does grace come from? It comes from acceptance
absolutely.
of yourself, of your life, of your soul's journey. So that's the way out. All right. And there is something called as master numbers. Master
Yeah,
numbers are blessings, a collection of blessings that you've collected from many lifetimes, and they are, dispelling in this lifetime. So this is how I look at karma. It's not all bad.
yeah.
It's not about punishing yourself.
No,
Okay,
no.
there are a lot of glories, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot of joy attached to it as well.
Yeah, yeah,
So let's,
absolutely.
I'm
No, so
glad you
coming
caught on
back,
to that.
no, no. So coming back here to a similar one, there's people talk about destiny and free will. So where does astrology and numerology fit in? You know what I'm saying? There's destiny. If you're meant, this is meant to happen to you. That's what's meant to happen to you. It just doesn't have to be. The other thing is free will. I may decide I'm supposed to take a left, but I'm going to take a right. So, what is your concept of destiny versus free will, and where does astrology fit in here, or numerology, either one or both?
It's a wonderful question to ask, and good you asked this question. We can compartmentalize this further. Uh, I have studied a very foundational course, very foundational course of a study called anthroposophy. And Rudolf Steiner
All?
is anthroposophy, and Rudolf Steiner is the father of that study or science. And there is one line that he said that really stuck with me. He said, "Destiny is what happens to you, and fate is how you respond to it." So what you spoke as free will, let's call it fate. Free will is a choice. Okay, that there is a situation that is in front of you that was destined. It was destined on the day you were born, and it had to happen in your life, which is going to happen. There is no escaping it. But what is in your hands is how you are responding to it. And while destiny is predestined, prefixed, fate is being written. it is not fixed. It's in your hands. That's your controlling. So let's go back to astrology. Astrology, when we do a reading, we ask for the birth time, the birthplace. And what do we do? What we see is that on that day, on that particular time, what was the setup? When I say setup is how were all these planets and satellites and stars placed in the moment you were born. Now, basis how they were placed, and you were born in that moment, which was not your decision.
Yeah.
Doctors can decide the date, or gynacs can tell you this is the date. It looks like, but it's never fixed. The time is never fixed. So you were supposed to born in that particular setup to go through certain motions in your life, okay, which is based on your past life karmas, and that is this time. That is going to happen every time that planet transits as you are living life. Certain events occur. The important thing is how are you using what you said, your free will. That's what I call fate. Both are F words. So that's what I call fate, and how you are responding to what is happening will decide your experience of life. Now, for some people, maybe what you are experiencing is something very, very intense, and you are flowing with it. You just feel, okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
That's where you have used your free will and you have made a choice that I want to respond to it like this. I want to see it in this way. Right? So that's the answer to your question.
It's very interesting because I know certain things that have taken place in my life recently, and I was talking to my sister yesterday, and I was so calm, and she just looks at me, she says, but that's ridiculous. How can it happen? I said, don't worry, it's all right. And Nishank, I have to thank you for this. It's the Course in Miracles and studying with you that has actually taught me a lot more about and I use this a lot in my talks about responding and not reacting. I've been saying this a lot, and I still believe it's so important for us to respond and not react to situations. Really. So coming back to this, I actually want to ask you, can people use, I know a lot of people who, and this is really funny, I know somebody, I don't know the right words, in the south of India, but they will not leave the house if the timing is not right. They will not travel if this is not correct. And so how can someone use astrology and numerology in everyday life without becoming so dependent and so, like you can't live your life without knowing the right day, the right time. I mean, I remember when I was going to launch my book and you said, Anjana, this is it, but don't get stuck on it. And I remember the words like, don't get stuck on these kind of things. And that's how would you tell people to use this without getting so stuck onto it?
I'm so glad you asked that question, because it is something that we need to address, especially in our country. I have seen that there is a over dependency on these modalities.
Yes.
And so since you brought up Course in Miracles, I'll just use one thing that the Course says about relationships. It bifurcates relationships into a special relationship and a holy relationship. A special relationship is when you become, or your happiness, your joy, your state of mind is dependent on either certain events or certain people in your life or certain things that you are chasing, and whether they are manifesting or not. So that's a special relationship. It is dependent on, it's over dependent on outside factors.
Right.
And a holy relationship is where we are in a state of loving and accepting ourselves just the way we are, and so do we do that for other people. So this is special and holy relationships. Special relationships is where we give our power away, our power of joy or our state of happiness away to a outside agent, could be anything. And here's where astrology comes in. Even when I teach my students, I tell them, make sure that you don't create a practice where your clients are overly dependent on you. Oh, what time should I eat my food, or what time should I go and buy my car, and what time should I, they are, it may seem that you may feel little powerful, but it's not the kind of power you want to have or
Yeah.
control that you want to have. Now, these modalities are not something that you depend on. These modalities are something that it's like your aid or like your friend or your guide who you seek guidance, but at the end what you are following is your own guidance and your own free will that we spoke about, and you seek these to create awareness. But at the end of the day, convenience is what matters. Now, let's say, we decided this day and time for our podcast. Now, it's very easy for me to see, oh, what will be the positions of the planet at this time? Is it the right time? No, wait. Is this convenient to you? Is this
Yeah.
convenient to me? Oh, it's great. It's convenient to both of us. We don't have time for any other day. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you surrender to what has to happen to it. So you can go to real depths, but I always believe that if you're going to become overly dependent, then what's the joy of living life?
Yes,
That's where I come
it's
from.
true. So, coming to what is happening in the world right now, there's so many people, there's so much, what's the word? I don't know what word to use. A lot of people just are looking for some calm, some clarity, just some peace of mind. Is there some kind of an awareness, something reflection, anything that you feel you could tell people about coming from the numerological and astrological point of view? Could you give as a piece of advice here?
Okay, so advice is not a very word I'm a very big fan of. You know it always.
I
So
know.
I'll share my perception based on my knowledge and experience as to what's happening. I saw it for last year also. Numerologically, this is 2026, totaling to the year one. One is all about starting, beginning, and for new beginnings, for new starts, something has to end, something has to conclude. All right. So 9 is a year of conclusions and endings. 1 is a year of beginnings. So if you see not only this year, if you see from last year, the world events that are happening,
Yeah.
the world order is changing. Change is becoming the new constant. If you see from last time, so numerologically, it is these two numbers energy. 9 is the one who ends, and 1 is the one who
Yeah.
begins. All right. Astrologically, there are two major transits that have taken place last year and are taking place this year as well. One of those transits, it creates fights, it creates quarrels, it creates conflicts. It does what it has to do when it goes into that particular transit. Okay, there is no planet or no number that is good or bad. It's
Right.
just doing its thing. It's just being itself. All right. And if we are aware to it, if we are aware of it, we can flow with it. So one of the transits, it brings conflicts. It creates conflicts. All right. And there is another planetary transit that is taking place that that kind of, it's all about newness, bringing newness in life. All right. But before something new has to be introduced, first it shatters, first it hits the existing. All right. So, and that planet is also responsible for technology. Okay, Uranus is a planet that rules the tech world. Technology is what brings newness in our lives, right? So that is what. So when these, and both these transits are negative, so when negative transits, so when these transits are happening, untoward events take place. All right. Now, it's not something that you need to be scared of, or that's the complete contrary of your topic of radiating happiness. I'm not radiating fear over here. That's not the idea. But why am I sharing this is, once you are aware of it, what will cease is our judgment towards it, our judgment towards the people we feel are responsible for it,
Yeah.
right? And at the end of the day, it's people who are doing stuff, right? But it's there are certain planetary placements which are influencing their actions, which are influencing their words, which is why they are doing what they are doing, and you should not. It's not our place to judge them. Judgment, it's not our business, to be very honest. So when we are aware of these things, the perpetrators can be anybody. Our job is to accept it. When there is a conflict, the question you can ask is, how can I bring peace over here? What can I do to feel happy? How can I be in control of my happiness quotient? Okay, you use your free will to keep yourself happy despite what is going on around you. And all these studies, the intention is to show it to you. You use the word prediction at the beginning when you introduce the topic. I tell all my students that you are banned from using the word prediction. Okay, we are not here to predict. Indication is a softer word and a word I like to use, and I'll tell you the difference. Prediction means what will happen and how it will happen, and exactly which day and which time at which hour it will happen. To be very honest, this is my personal belief that to be able to predict something, this is my definition of prediction, and to be able to predict something, you have to be either an enlightened being, at least which I know I am not at this point in time, or you have to be God. Right? We can't play God.
No.
All right? Script is with Him, the higher power. What these numbers, what these transits are, they are indicating something. Like I spoke, that it indicates a conflict. How will the conflict happen? Will it be a civil war? Will it be a world war? Will it be? I don't know. Okay, will it be riots? I have no idea what it will be and how it will be. But this is the theme. So it indicates a particular theme. We have to understand that theme and see, okay, this may happen, this may not happen. And I always tell, when I make these kind of indicators, when I show, I always tell, I hope I'm wrong about it. I'll be happy to be wrong about it. Okay? However, these things, we can't change it, but we can't predict how it will happen. And what will trigger, who will be the perpetrator, we don't know. So our job is, forget what is happening around you. Ground yourself, and what brings me joy, what brings me happiness, what is my happiness quotient. That is what, if you can focus on that, you can be that light, that ray of light that you're offering people who can't see it like that. That's my 2 cents.
That's lovely, really. But now you see, I'm going to ask you for more. What would be your main thing that you're going to share with? Give everybody one tool, something interesting which they can do for themselves, or what is it? I'm sure you always have something interesting you share. So what is the one really interesting thing that you're going to share with us today? Tell me.
So I share something very easy, okay, and let's stick to your podcast topic or your book's title, Radiate Happiness. Okay, so before we get into the specifics, one thing, it begins, this is the foundation, that each one of us, we are responsible for our happiness.
Yes.
Okay, our happiness cannot be dependent on what someone else is doing.
Absolutely.
Or it cannot be, we cannot depend on that this particular person will give me the happiness, or they are responsible to keep me happy. So let's build the foundation that I am responsible for my happiness.
Yes.
If I am anything but happy, it's time for me to pause and look, where did I derail? What can I do to come back to my joy factor? So let's lay the foundation that each one of us is responsible for our joy.
Absolutely.
And our happiness. Right?
Yes.
So what I'll share with you is the first aha moment that I had when I had gone to study numerology with complete reluctance and resistance. Okay, what was my first aha moment? My first aha moment was when I realized what my life's purpose is. All right, now in a numerology class, a very left brain, number centric topic, I am using the word life purpose. Okay, something that is a very big question mark for so many people.
Yeah.
But why that was an aha moment is because when I understood what my life path number is, I got so much clarity. I received so much clarity that okay, I know where my frustration lies. I know what chapter in my life needs to end
Yeah.
so that I live my purpose. And when you are aligned with what your life's purpose is, you are at your happiest most or happiest best. Okay, and it doesn't concern money. It doesn't concern income. If you were to ask me, I was doing a job. Am I earning or more than my salary? Am I doing better by doing? I don't know. Maybe I am, but I'm not even getting into that part. We are talking of happiness. Money is not happiness.
Yeah.
Happiness is when you feel aligned. At least my definition, what I said, acceptance. When you feel aligned, when you have accepted that this is my life's path, this is my life's purpose, this is my
Yeah.
soul's purpose, and this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right? So, what I'll share with the listeners, with the viewers, is how to calculate their life path number, which denotes what their life purpose is, and what can you do to align with a purpose which will make you happy. So, let's call it happiness quotient.
Right.
Your life path number and your happiness quotient. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. So let me help you first calculate your life path number, and here's how you do it. Take your date of birth, the day you were born. So, for example, you were born on 10th of January 1980. So you write down 10. January is the first month, so you write down 1,
Yeah.
and then 1980. Make sure you're not just using the last two digits. Generally, we have a habit of I'm a 80 born, I'm a 92 born. No,
Yeah.
right? 1980. So you write these numbers and then you total all of these numbers. All right. And whatever total you arrive at,
Yeah.
reduce it to a single digit.
Okay.
That is your life path number. So, whoever is listening, whoever is seeing this podcast, you can pause this video now and quickly calculate this. It won't take much time, so you can do it. And now, once you have your life path number, I'll share with you in 1 or 2 lines at max, what's your happiness quotient. Are we ready for that, Anjana?
Yes. I'm also doing it for myself.
All
Okay.
right. So ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. So if your life path number is 1, number 1, 1 is ruled by sun. 1 is all about leadership. So your happiness lies in leading from the front, taking charge of things. Ones are very, very original people. So bringing your originality to the world, who you are, without any influence of outside factors, independent of what the world around you thinks of you. If you can do that, that would be a first step to living your purpose and your opening to your joy or your happiness. So if you're a life path 1,
Right.
lead from the front. That's what you're born for. Be original, be yourself. All right. If your life path number is 2, when all the elements of your date of birth they total to a 2, your happiness lies only and only in 2 things. That is self-love and self-care. Anjana, 2s are such accommodative people. There is so much warmth around them, but they tend to sacrifice themselves a lot to accommodate other people. So that is why the happiness mantra or the happiness quotient for someone with a life path 2 is self-care and self-love. That's your route to happiness. All right. Let's talk about life path 3. 3 is ruled by Jupiter. 2 is ruled by Moon. 3 is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is also, we call it the planet of Guru, but it has a very childlike, light, happy-go-lucky energy.
Right.
So 3s are all about creative expression. These are 2 keywords with anyone with a life path 3. Their function is to express their creativity and inspire people. So that's your happiness quotient. Go out there, write a bad poetry, doesn't matter. Okay, go do your thing, express yourself. However, it could be art, it could be speaking, it could be stand-up comedy, it could be dance, it could be music, anything that's your tool of expression. Go ahead, do it without thinking how it is being perceived, and you will be at your joyous most. All right. Life path 4. 4 is ruled by Uranus, and it's the number of strength, it's the number of security, foundation, and strength. So your happiness lies in your groundedness. Okay, be grounded. Do some grounding activities like
Right.
walking barefoot on the beach, gardening, with your bare hands, playing with soil, mud. Just do that. Do your grounding activities. And when you are in that element, you don't need to do anything. People around you automatically get a sense of security.
Wow.
So that's your thing. And 4s are all about planning and organizing. They love to plan and organize things. So be that planner, be that organizer for any events in your life. Could be for your family, could be for your friends, could be even for your own self. So
Right.
that's what a life path 4 is all about. So planning, organizing, and groundedness, that's where your happiness lies. Let's talk about life path 5. 5 is the vibrant and the most versatile number in numerology. It is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is known for versatility. It rules, astrologically, it rules the world of business and commerce. So where's the happiness quotient of a 5? The happiness quotient of a 5 lies in being adventurous, trying new things. 5s are best when they are freelancing. They love freedom. The number 5 is all about freedom. They cannot be contained, they cannot be bound. So be boundless. Don't be in a container, don't put yourself in a box. Go out there. 5 is a very sensual number. All your senses need to experience its highest peak. Go out there, do it. And when you are in that element, you inspire the world around you, the people around you. You don't have to do anything. 5
Yeah.
is the communicator. It speaks. Go and talk to people. All right. Express yourself. It's the magnified version of a 3. So that's 5. Just be versatile. They love change. They love freedom. So that's your happiness element. So whenever you feel down and out, ask yourself, what is it that I can try that I've never done before? Be adventurous. Try. Let's talk about life path 6. The happiness quotient of a 6. 6 is ruled by Venus. Venus is the planet that rules peace, planet that rules luxury. And 6 is also about family and your friends. So if you're a life path 6, your joy lies in completing your responsibilities towards your friends, towards your family. However, while you are doing that, remember one thing, like I spoke about the number 2, even 6s can be a little self-sacrificing. So remember to cut yourself some slack. Okay, use the Venus energy. Okay, indulge in some luxury. 6s are very brand conscious people. Go out there, buy your favorite brand. Don't compromise. Reward yourself for completing your responsibilities towards others. So that's where the happiness quotient of someone with a life path 6 lies.
Yeah.
6s are visionaries. They are great at nurturing other people. But while you are nurturing other people, nurture your soul as well. Okay. Let's talk about life path 7. Now 7s can be intense. Okay. 7 is a very, very spiritual number. Pythagoras said that it's the most intellectual and the most spiritual of all 9 numbers. 7 is all about inward, being inward. Speaking less, the exact opposite of a 3 and a 5. Speaking less, being more silent. So, where does the happiness quotient of a 7 lie? It lies in enjoying me time by myself.
I have to tell you this. You have pinpointed me perfectly. Because for me, nothing works as beautifully as my me time. I am a 7. And I'm like, okay, I didn't think I'm intellectual or all that stuff. But yeah, being inward and me time is so important. That's why I'm the happiest. Seriously. Wow. Thank you. Please carry on.
And 7 is also about innovation, invention. Seven is also about research and development. So while we say they are very quiet, very introverts, it's not just quiet, they're observing. Okay, they are observing, they're analyzing, they are phenomenal at analysis. Okay, so they use that and their unique ability to analyze things, and then they innovate, then they do some research and innovate. So this is where your happiness lies, giving the world something that no one has ever thought about. Okay, so what I spoke about the life path ones can be disruptors, and sevens can be the ones who will surprise the world with something that the world has never thought of. So that's where your joy lies. Being within yourself. You give a number seven a book, give them a corner to lie down, read that book, and you will never even know that they exist in this home. So that's where your joy lies. Read, knowledge. Seven is ruled by Neptune, by the way. Neptune is a planet that rules the higher wisdom, the higher knowledge. All right, which is not, it's possible it's the wisdom that does not, it's not of the world also, it's way beyond. So that's where the happiness of a seven lies. Let's come to the mighty powerful life path 8. 8 is all about influencing people, being powerful. 8, I would say it's all about money, honey. You know, it's a very transactional number. They love money, they love abundance, and they love to show it to the world. However, the happiness for the life path 8 lies in when they can inspire other people with their abundance. Not to show off, but to inspire them. Look, this is possible. You know, think of it. Think of the unthinkable. It's possible. Don't restrict yourself around money. It's unlimited. So using their power, using their influence, and showing the world that, you know, everyone can have it. All right. So their joy lies in exhibiting the abundance and using their power and influence for the better of the world, of the society. So that's where the number 8 comes from. And they love transacting. So they should, in any activity where transaction is involved, you know, they will really be very, very happy. They'll be in their element. And let's talk about the all-encompassing or the all-inclusive 9. People with a life path 9. You asked me, you know, what would you like to tell about the ongoing events that are happening in the world? With what's happening in the world needs the number 9 energy like never before. 9 is ruled by Mars. Mars is a planet of sensitivity. All right. And nines are the epitome of kindness, compassion, and their joy lies when they are working towards a higher purpose, a purpose that is beyond their bank balance, beyond them, beyond their life. So their joy lies in being part of some humanitarian project which is towards the better of humanity. So that's where their joy lies. So this is, and again, you know, for everyone with a life path 2, 6 and 9, it goes without saying, self-care comes first. You can only give when you have. So make sure you have enough for yourself first and then think of going beyond.
Yeah.
All right. So these are the 9 numbers, the root numbers, and what's their happiness quotient? What will keep them at their joyous?
Wow. Thanks, Nishank. Way more than what I expected. And I hope everyone who's watching and hearing this gets a great understanding of how your life path and happiness are connected. Really. We have to realize that happiness does not come from controlling life or knowing what's coming ahead. It actually comes from understanding ourselves, trusting the timing, and meeting every phase that we go through in life with some kind of kindness. I think a big takeaway from today would be that astrology and numerology aren't about fate, but more about awareness, like you said. Well, thank you so much, Nishank. It's just been really an interesting introspection. I mean, there's just so much to take away. I hope everyone else feels the same. And I hope if this conversation resonated with all of you, share it with other people who may need it. Thank you. This is Anjana. This is Radiate Happiness. And thank you again, Nishank. Until next time, be kind to yourself always.